Buffkin!
Hello, Miss Snow.
This review is brought to you by Loot Crate. Tomorrow, Telltale unleashes episode 1 of The Wolf Among Us, which was one of my top 3 picks from PAX this year. If you played their previous game, The Walking Dead, then you've probably noticed that they look pretty similar. However, this one is based on the Fables comic series, which may not be as depressing as The Walking Dead, but it's certainly no walk in the park.
Damn you! No way!
Whoa, hey!
Whether you've read the comics or not, the premise of The Wolf Among Us is nothing short of fascinating. A group of folklore characters called Fables become exiled from their homelands and are forced to live amongst normals in the run-down New York City commune of Fabletown. Here, they must blend into society, disguising themselves as human using something called glamours, while those who don't abide get sent to the dreaded farm upstate. It's a considerably darker take on the fairy tale genre, and one that will be most appreciated by those who grew up with its characters. Snow White, the Toad, the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz, there's an interesting mix of faces, and most of them have deteriorated from beloved childhood characters into outcast derelicts, desperately trying to coexist in a society that won't accept them.
Great.
The sheriff of this town is none other than Big B Wolf, aka the Big Bad Wolf, a hot-tempered hardass who must protect this community while keeping his beastly persona under wraps. But when a sudden murder happens in Fabletown, he's tasked with tracking down the culprit as he begins unearthing the dark secrets lying deep below the surface.
Shit.
Like The Walking Dead, there's an overarching storyline that's pretty inevitable, but smaller facets of the narrative can be bent to the decisions you make. The writing and dialogue are both excellent and on par with what you'd expect from Telltale, while the voice acting is a step above, providing unique cultural adaptations for many of the game's characters.
Nothing but a leaky drain pipe. Imagination must have got the best of me.
It's also not hard to see that this is Telltale's best-looking game to date. The vibrant use of color brings some much-needed contrast to an otherwise dismal environment, and many of the technical issues that plagued The Walking Dead appear to be non-existent here. Perhaps the biggest difference, however, is the combat system, which is still primarily based on quick-time events. You move the analog stick to dodge, tap A to get out of a stranglehold, and when you want to throw a punch, a red circle will appear on the screen, which you must line up with your analog stick before pressing the left or right trigger. It's a more involved system than The Walking Dead's, but unfortunately, it's also not much better. The Reddit animations tend to blend in with the background, making it difficult to complete the more time-sensitive quick-time events. There also doesn't seem to be a complete correlation between the prompts and the button presses, as there were multiple times where I accidentally pressed the wrong trigger, but the correct animation executed anyway. Worse than all of that, though, is the fact that the combat just isn't particularly fun. This is bound to be subjective, but I'm not usually a fan of mechanics that require you to line things up in a short period of time. I imagine this is something that's more relevant to the console version, so if you share my sentiments, then you may want to get the game on PC, as it's probably a little less frustrating. Overall, I would recommend the first episode of The Wolf Among Us to anyone who enjoyed The Walking Dead. It's not a vastly different experience in terms of gameplay, but the writing is fantastic, and the premise is certainly unique enough to warrant the $5 price tag. All Telltale needs to do now is keep that momentum going. The Wolf Among Us gets a 4 out of 5. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a subscription box service for geeks and gamers that delivers awesome swag to your doorstep for less than $20 a month. In this box, we got stuff like this little Ren and Stimpy doll. There's a Futurama keychain in here, a little Ninja Turtles figurine. Next month, we're gonna have a special zombie-themed box, so make sure you sign up today. You can sign up and support Rev3 Games by going to lootcrate.com/Rev3Games, and you can even get 10% off your order by entering the code Rev3 at checkout. So there you have it, The Wolf Among Us Faith. I know some people have been wondering if they need to read the comic first in order to understand what is going on in the game, and the answer is no. I haven't read it either, but it did not hamper my enjoyment of the game in any way whatsoever. They are both set in the same universe, but the events here take place 20 years before the comic, so as far as story goes, they are totally and completely different. So yeah, the game is out tomorrow, October 11th on PC, Mac, and Xbox 360. It's also going to be hitting PSN in North America on October 15th, And I am told that they are planning for an iOS version, which should be released sometime before the end of the year. Each of the 5 episodes are $5 each, and you can get a season pass for $20, so $5 off. Seems like a good deal to me. As always, thank you guys for watching, and if you played the game, please do come back and let us know what you think.